Timber. Yes, Malaya has an abundant supply of first-grade timber for export as well as for home use. Timber for buildings, timber for bridges, timber for our many growing industries. In the $3 billion factory at Petaling Jaya, Malayan timber is used extensively in the production of matches. The timber is first sliced thinly and cut into sticks at a rate of 3 million an hour. From the cutting machine, they are taken to the sorting section, where women workers remove damaged or broken sticks. After sorting, they go through a drying machine where the moisture is removed and the sticks are waxed. From now on, they are ready for the final stage of coating with a compound of phosphorus. Moving continuously, the sticks travel from one conveyor belt to another and are stacked neatly for feeding into the huge coating machine. In perfect rhythm, the sticks are brought into position, ready to receive the liquid phosphorus which forms the match head. When one batch is completed, another batch moves in to take its place. In 1 hour, 2.5 million sticks are coated with the familiar match heads we see and use daily. This match factory, the largest in the country, employs 250 workers and uses modern machines for all the jobs. Cutting, folding, packing, all in a matter of seconds. 600,000 boxes of matches a day, sufficient to meet the needs of the whole country. Here's one, however, who believes she can do just as fast. Yes, maybe even faster. In line with government plans to promote secondary industries, hundreds of millions of dollars have been invested in Malaya, as a result of which there is more employment and a better standard of living. The fourth meeting of the Anti-Malaria Coordination Board was held at the Tunku Abdul Rahman Hall recently and attended by experts from various neighboring countries, the World Health Organization, and the United States Operation Mission. In his opening address, the Minister of Health, Dr. Ong Yok Lin, said that Malaya had been closely watching the progress against malaria in other countries. The latest methods would be used, he said, when Malaya started eradication trials shortly. During the 4-day conference, the delegates were able to make on-the-spot observations of the country's anti-larval campaign. Malaria control in this country began 50 years ago at Klum during the construction of a port for ocean-going vessels. With the influx of more people, an epidemic broke out and the port was crippled. The government, on the advice of the government surgeon, Mr. Watson, felled jungles, drained valleys, ditches and swamps, and within 2 years brought the epidemic under control. The anti-larval method had proved a success. This method is still being used in many estates and plantations. In the last 10 years, deaths from malaria have dropped considerably. In 1957, just over 5,000 cases were admitted to hospitals and only 84 were fatal. Soon, a $1 million pilot project of malaria eradication will be started in Selangor. On its success depends a more ambitious scheme to rid the whole country of the disease. Malaria control by individual countries is not enough. The delegates from Burma, Cambodia, Laos, Thailand and Vietnam discussed methods of border control affecting each and neighboring countries. Malaya, as the healthiest nation in this region, is proud of the progress achieved in the fight against malaria. In Pahang, between Jerantut and Temerloh, live 2,000 Aborigines of the Jahut tribe. They now live settled lives, rear poultry and goats, and raise Indian corn. Others work on rubber estates, while some own a few acres themselves. 49-year-old Batin Hitam is headman of a Jahut clan in Ulu Chaka. He is a devoted father, and on this trip back from town, he's bought a doll for his young daughter. And like most young children, what is yours is mine. And this is the result. Now it's back to father again for another doll, but it'll be a long time before Batin Hitam goes for another trip to the big town. Faced with a problem to pacify his young girl's broken heart, he decides to make one himself. After all, there's plenty of wood round the place. So, with nothing more than a block of soft wood and a knife, he sets to work. His chief audience, his young daughter. Patiently he chips away, the image of the broken doll still fresh in his mind. As a young boy, Batin Hitam had always whittled wood. Like others of his people, wood carving comes naturally, a gift born out of necessity. To hunt for food, they fashioned blowpipes and arrows, some delicately carved, household utensils and implements for their daily use, and sculptures as an expression of their beliefs. The finished doll may not be a perfect replica of the original, but at least it will last. For Batin Hitam, it is a labor of joy, a rediscovery of his childhood art. It also created interest in the Aborigines department, who encouraged the people in their art. The department provided them with better tools and arranged for the supply of better types of wood. Soon Batin Hitam and the other members of his tribe were making more and better sculptures. Most of the objects are created after some spirits, good and evil, which play an important part in their spiritual and domestic life. Spirits of the earth, rainbow, sun and moon, each with a story of its own. This woman's spirit lives on the milk of young mothers. Loss of breast milk is attributed to this spirit. Sometimes, failing to find victims, it sucks its own breast. The sick child and the sorrowing mother depict an event in their life, as the sculpture of a man pounding rice portrays their daily needs. Then there is the two-faced spirit, symbolizing good and evil. Whoever crosses the path of the evil face falls a victim and dies. And so it goes, creation after creation, each an expression of their beliefs, their needs, their daily lives. Yes, Batin Hitam and his people have not lost their touch. At the Malayan art exhibition, his sculpture was one of the many exhibits which took pride of place in the display. Arriving at Penang for a poultry training course are 10 farmers from Kelantan, specially selected by the veterinary department. The training is financed by RIDA and lasts 2 months. Under the supervision of the veterinary department, these farmers will learn to raise table poultry on a larger and more economic scale. Penang is the Federation's largest exporter of table poultry, and at 2 of the biggest farms, these trainees will be taught the free-range method of poultry production. This comprehensive course covers a wide range of subjects, from construction of brooder house, care of chickens, types of food, general cleanliness of farms, to the latest scientific methods of promoting quick growth in birds. As part of their practical course, they help in the preparation of the brooder house for the young chicks. They learn that quicklime spread on the ground kills worms and parasites which are harmful to chicks. Raised wire platforms placed over the ground provide circulation of air, and the whole area is fenced in and curtained with sacking to keep the chicks warm. The platforms are then covered with gunny sacks to prevent dampness from the ground and to collect droppings which can be used as manure. All the materials used are those which are easily obtainable in their own kampong. Now everything is ready and the chicks are put into their new home. As many as 3,000 chicks are kept in this house and they remain there for a period varying from 1 to 1.5 months before they are let loose to forage outside. Young chicks need plenty of warmth, especially at night. Kerosene lamps are placed at intervals for heating purposes, and the chicks gather round them when the weather is cold. For the chicks to grow fast, food which contains plenty of vitamins and minerals must be fed to them regularly. Any type of grass or vegetable other than lalang mixed with mash is suitable for the growing chickens. Wet mash, as it is called, is composed of bran, maize, or broken rice. Young growing chickens eat a lot too, and the troughs must always be kept supplied with food. For these keen Kelantan farmers who have helped to feed and look after them, the lively and well-fed birds are more than a reward for their training. And with a free-range method, they'll make a bigger margin of profit. The farmers are also taught diseases of poultry and how to spot symptoms in sick chickens. It is necessary to have young chickens inoculated to prevent them from rennicus. This can be done without any cost at a veterinary department or by any veterinary officer at the farm itself. Later, they see how chemical castration is done. With the knowledge acquired, these farmers, when they return to their kampongs, will begin their own production of table poultry and help pass on their training to other farmers.